The Joker, an unhinged and sadistic character who thrives on chaos and psychological torment. He stands as one of the most recognizable villains in pop culture, so iconic in fact that some individuals have tried to emulate him in real life, blurring the lines between fiction and criminality. One such figure is Paul Miller, better known online as Gypsy Crusader, an American internet personality and self-proclaimed white supremacist. Miller gained attention for spewing racist hate speech on platforms like Omegle, eventually getting banned from nearly every major site due to his extremist content. But how did he end up here? What led Paul down this path, and why has he embraced the persona of a real-life Joker? This is the insane history of Gypsy Crusader. Paul Nicholas Miller was born in New York on August 11, 1988, raised by his father Bob Miller, who is of Roma, Turkish and Indian descent, and Mexican mother Deanna Miller, who was an independent businesswoman and psychic reader. Paul grew up in a devout Catholic household, where faith played such a central role that his family visited a pilgrimage in Canada every summer.
I grew up Catholic my whole life. We would go to church. My mom would take us every Sunday. We would go to, there was a pilgrimage that we would go to every summer in August in Canada for the Saint Anne de Beaupré. Saint Anne is the Virgin Mary's mother. And we would go there every summer, all of us together, stay for like a week. It's a beautiful church. I remember always doing that. It definitely gave me a lot of moral value. It gave me a lot of tradition. It gave me a lot of love. It was always really nice, you know what I mean, for us to all be together when we would go to church.
There is not much detailed public knowledge of his upbringing, schooling, or formative influences prior to adulthood. The earliest details known was Paul having a younger brother and was a bit of a troubled guy. In 2006, at the age of 18, he was charged with aggravated assault and possession of a weapon, being a Remington Airmaster pellet gun, something he used to fire at people from his window, pleading guilty yet was not sentenced to any jail time. The next year, Paul was arrested again, this time the charge being possession of drugs and intention to sell, where he got caught selling cocaine to an undercover cop in New Brunswick. He was also charged with selling marijuana, ecstasy, and heroin, serving 180 days in jail and 5 years of probation. In 2008, at the age of 20, Paul decided to change his life around by joining gyms 9 Weapons and later the Institute, both gyms being known for teaching Muay Thai in New Jersey, a traditional Thai martial art and combat sport known for including fists, elbows, knees, and shins for striking.
I was a really bad kid. I did some really stupid things when I was young, and when I got clean and I fixed myself up, I walked into an LA Fitness and I found my first instructor and I just ran with it. Fighting turned my life around. I could have went down a very bad path had I not found fighting.
Paul had his first amateur fight in 2008 after only 3 months of training. His fighting career became successful as Paul became the regional light heavyweight champion of the IBF and the US national champion in the World Kickboxing Association in 2013.
I've won 2 titles. I've won a regional title from the IBF. I fought Omar Fowler and I won the WK Nationals in 2013 for the 175-pound Muay Thai championship.
Paul remained dedicated to his training and eventually took on the role of a Muay Thai coach at the Institute, where he taught for several years. Unfortunately, his fighting career was cut short after a serious car accident left him severely injured in 2016.
I was fighting for a long time and I got into a bad car accident. That's what ended my career. I tore the tendons off of this elbow, I broke my hand, I herniated disc in my neck, so I couldn't really train anymore for like months, almost a year.
During the months Paul spent recovering from his injuries, he began exploring new interests and hobbies beyond fighting, where he eventually developed a keen interest in political journalism. At 27, Paul's interest was sparked during the 2016 presidential race between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Having grown up in New York, he was already familiar with Trump and chose to support him throughout the campaign. But when Paul voiced that support publicly on social media, many of his friends quickly distanced themselves, turning against him almost overnight.
While I was laying laying in bed, healing up. This is around 2016. Trump starts to run. I've grown up around, the Trump thing my whole life, being from New York. So I was like, Trump, he's cool, man. I'm like, he's a good business guy. I like this. I remember I came out in support for Trump, like on my social media back then. And in my social media back then, I had just all my fighter friends. Not all, but a good number of people who were friends of mine who I had trained with turned on me and was like, "You're a racist." And I was like, "A racist?" I'm like, one guy was Asian, another guy was black, another guy was a Muslim. I'm like, you guys have known me for like 10 years.
While watching news coverage, Paul noticed repeated claims that Trump's rallies had barely any supporters attending. Determined to see for himself, he took it upon himself to document the events firsthand, attending rallies and capturing footage that showed large crowds. It was his first act into journalism, driven by a desire to challenge what he saw as misleading narratives in the mainstream media.
The media was always saying, oh, well, his rallies don't have that many people. So when I got better and he was still running, I said, you know what? I'm going to go to one of these rallies and I want to record it and I want to show people that the media, I want to interview people and I want to see how it is.
Now that this was his newfound hobby, Paul started filming and uploading videos to YouTube documenting his journalism. As a Republican, he frequently filmed himself in New York entering left-leaning government offices and corporate buildings, where he confronted employees and politicians over various alleged fraudulent activities.
Sorry guys, I have to do this. CNN is fake news. They engaged in propaganda for 2 years against the American people. They need to be shut down. This place is a joke. And I'm here to tell you that you owe the American people an apology. I'm sorry, officer. I will leave. I will leave right now. I will leave right now, officer. There's no problem. I don't want any trouble. I just had to say that on behalf of 63 million Americans.
You say your piece. Thank you. Thank you, officer.
And not one person would answer a question about the censorship that's going on against conservatives. They don't want to be, I don't understand.
Paul continued pursuing journalism for the next 2 years, until 2018 marked a turning point with the emergence of his online persona, Gypsy Crusader. On October 12th of that year, the Proud Boys organized an event at the Metropolitan Republican Club on Manhattan's Upper East Side, featuring a speech by their founder. The Proud Boys are a far-right organization founded in 2016 by Gavin McInnes, a Canadian media personality. The Proud Boys are described as Western chauvinists who essentially reject political correctness and progressive values. Paul and his friend Alice attempted to attend the event as journalists, although were unable to gain entry as the event was sold out. Instead, Paul decided to shoot video outside and live streamed it on YouTube to show the Antifa crowd protesting against them. Antifa, short for anti-fascist, is an organized political movement made up of individuals and groups who oppose fascism and far-right extremism.
Not a huge gathering of Antifa on the other side, but they are there. I don't know if things are going to get violent. There's a heavy police presence, so we should be fine, God willing. There's the liberals. There they are. The idiots. There's the idiots. There they are. Why don't you have more? You're outnumbered. Go home to your cats. I don't know if they're gonna do anything, guys. I want to go over there and instigate it, but the cops are here, so we'll be nice. I want to fuck him up real bad. Cops are here, so we'll be nice.
Paul began exchanging in a heated argument with several Antifa members when, without warning, one individual struck his phone to the ground. The confrontation quickly escalated into a physical altercation between the two.
Why do you hide your face? Why hide the face? No, you don't. All right. They don't want to ask. They don't want to answer any questions. What do you want? Watch him out. I'll knock you out. I was just recording. All I was doing was recording. Yes, sir. Officer, all I did was record. Officer, please, I didn't want to fight him. He got like this. I didn't know what he was gonna do. I was recording, sir, and then he came in my face. He's like, "Well, what's your problem?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm just recording." Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Following the altercation, Paul and Alice stopped at a McDonald's to charge their phones. As they exited the restaurant, Paul noticed a group of Antifa members following them. Reacting quickly, he urged Alice to run while he stayed back to fight the members off.
As I'm walking back, I start noticing that we are being followed followed by Antifa. I stopped her and I said, Alex, they're going to come for us. They're coming for us right now. And then she looked down the street and she's seen them. So I handed her my phone and I said, listen, I'm going to give you an opportunity. And when you get the chance, you run. We get surrounded by the first 5 and then another 5 come. So there's 10 of them. There was the one guy who was kind of pretty close to me. I remember I punched him and then I grabbed him. And when I grabbed him, I looked at Alex and I said, run. And she ran off down the street. And they all start, pounding on me. They all, they're swinging at me and trying to hit me. I punched one guy, hit him, boom, boom, and I dropped him. And I hit him just enough that when he fell, I was able to run.
The Antifa group chased Paul down, reigniting the confrontation. As tensions escalated, several Proud Boys members emerged from the Metropolitan building and defended Paul against the attackers. Eventually, police arrived on the scene, arresting 3 Antifa members. The night ended with Paul going to the station to provide a statement. The incident quickly gained traction when One American News obtained footage of the fights and invited Paul to share his account in a studio interview, something Paul agreed to do.
It was just a crowd of about maybe 70, 80 Antifa members screaming and chanting and wild like animals out front of the Republican Club.
These protesters, did they have weapons on them?
I think they did, because they had the signs that they were chanting with, and the signs had like these big wood, like the sign was on itself. It was like this big wood piece. It's dangerous.
Like a 2x4 with something in it or something like that?
Yes, and then they had the sign on the top. You could have anything in there, a nail or something, you don't know.
After the attack by Antifa, Paul discovered that his backpack containing personal items, including his wallet, had been stolen. He later stated that his stolen information was used to dox him, triggering a period of targeted harassment.
Antifa stole my bag. They went through my wallet. They gave my personal information to a very big Antifa New York page on Twitter at the time that had like 250,000 followers, and they doxed me there. And it just got progressively worse. After I got doxed, there was a lot of death threats and, just say horrible things to me. But again, it was very, it was scary. But at the time, I was just like, I'm just going to step away from all this and maybe it'll die down.
After experiencing harassment and threats from the Antifa crowd, Paul chose to step back from political journalism, feeling it was no longer safe to continue pursuing it as a hobby. During this hiatus, he recovered from his injuries and resumed coaching Muay Thai. It seemed like this chapter in political commentary had closed, but in 2020, Paul made an unexpected return to the scene. Following the death of George Floyd, widespread Black Lives Matter protests erupted across the United States, with some escalating into riots. Black Lives Matter is a global human rights movement that campaigns against racism and anti-black violence, particularly police brutality. Once Paul learned of the riots commencing, he decided to return to political journalism by attending and documenting 2 riots in Philadelphia and 2 riots in New York City.
All right, so the damage is extensive. This thing, it's like every other block is just wrecked. As you can see here, the left do not like CNN either. Destroy CNN. I have some pretty good helmet cam footage. I've just had to put it on and walk because I've never seen it like this. Even after 9/11, it wasn't like this. But I'm gonna start heading home because train's coming. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I have so many pictures. I'm going to post them really soon, all right? Thank you guys for watching. The mainstream media is not showing the American people the damage the left-wing mob can do to the United States. It is disgusting, all right? Those people are animals. They are not protesters. They're rioters, okay? They're domestic terrorists, and they need to be stopped.
In May of that year, agents of the FBI showed up at Paul's parents' home trying to reach him, revealing that they were sent after him regarding anti-COVID lockdown statements he had made online and his proposal of an open carry rally, which is a public gathering where participants openly carry firearms to advocate for gun rights or protest gun-related policies. However, the FBI deemed Paul was not a threat and no further action was taken.
Somebody went and reported me to the FBI. The FBI shows up to my house, intimidates my family, intimidates me, and then I remember them saying to me, they were like, well, you can't, I'm like, all I said was for us, maybe we should do this. And then they said, well, you can't have an open carry protest in New Jersey. I said, but that's kind of the point of protesting. It's civil disobedience. We're doing something we're not really supposed to be doing and, trying to get the government to recognize. That's the whole point of this. So, I don't see the big deal.
Rewinding back to Black Lives Matter, after Paul labeled the movement as a terrorist organization, as well as being seen wearing a Boogaloo mask, Boogaloo being another far-right movement consisting of being pro pro-gun and anti-government, Paul began attracting an even more significant amount of attention. According to Paul, the visibility reached a point where Black Lives Matter supporters became aware of his content and, through connections with Antifa, obtained his personal information, leading to an escalation in harassment against him. The harassment was so severe that it apparently got Paul kicked out of his gym due to the business receiving constant threats.
They called my gym that I trained at for years, and they told my coach, like, if you don't kick him out, we are going to come down to your business and we're going to protest outside of it. So he kicked me out, so I couldn't coach anymore, I couldn't train anymore. My name was completely slandered in the fight community. I was done. Like, I'm still blacklisted. I can't go to any of the gyms in my area.
Paul further stated that the harassment grew so extreme that Black Lives Matter supporters went as far as to protest at his own parents' residency.
They found my mom's business and came here and harassed my mother. They called my mom and my dad for weeks. Now, I wasn't living at home at the time, so I didn't know, but they were calling them and threatening my mom, threatening my dad, saying they're going to kill them, they're gonna burn the house down with them inside it. And when they came to the house, it was like 60 outside of my mom and dad's house, chanting, "Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter." My mom called the cops. The cops came, told her that there's nothing that they can do because they're practicing their First Amendment and they're standing on the street, not on your property. So there's really nothing that we can do.
Due to the severity of the harassment, Paul made the decision to permanently step away from political journalism, prioritizing the safety of his family. He found himself at a personal low point, unable to work after allegedly being blacklisted from every Muay Thai gym. With no reliable source of income, he faced mounting financial pressure and feared losing his apartment. While Paul was thinking of how to fix his life, he came across a YouTuber named Catboy Cami. Catboy Cami, also known as Tor Gustafsson Brooks, is a Swedish-born Austrian streamer known for his online trolling on chatting sites such as Omegle. On his live streams, Catboy Cami were dressed in stereotypically racist outfits mocking blacks, Asians, and Jews, recording people's reactions on Omegle. Paul was drawn to the provocative style of Catboy Cami's videos and found them entertaining, which sparked his interest in producing similar content. Rather than adopting the overtly racist outfits, Paul chose to dress as fictional villains from popular films and TV shows, appearing as characters like Omni-Man, the Riddler, and most notably the Joker, which became his signature look.
Like the Joker movie had just came out, and I went and watched it, and I just kind of, like his story and my story kind of paralleled each other. So I really felt like a sense of connection with him. It just made sense. Like, he was a man that's like society kind of just turned on and didn't really give a shit about. Yeah. And that's how I felt. And a lot of people who were in the movement loved the movie for that same reason. Yeah.
Paul's Omegle streams essentially consisted of him directing racially charged and abusive language primarily toward black individuals and other minority groups while recording and broadcasting their reactions in real time.
Let me get this straight. You're so political, you're homophobic, and you're on this?
Yes.
Just to tell everyone about it?
Yes.
Do you know how much people commit suicide because of you talking about this?
Good.
Do you?
Good.
It's not good.
Yes, it is. We don't need you people in this world.
Paul began with a modest following of just 20 viewers until an overnight surge made him go completely viral. As short-form content began to grow in popularity, clips from his streams spread rapidly across platforms such as TikTok, creating a wave of exposure for Paul. Paul justified his creation of offensive content as an act of retaliation against Antifa and the Black Lives Matter movement. He escalated his revenge during the US presidential election between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, attending Biden rallies specifically to hurl verbal abuse at Democratic supporters.
Only white lives matter. Only white. Yeah, I am. Hell. Lives don't matter. Lives don't matter, you black.
However, because Paul's content was so offensive, he would begin to instantly get banned from almost every social media website, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. This forced Paul to relocate to other websites such as BitChute and Telegram, where he continued to stream for the loyal fanbase he had cultivated. Paul was riding high on the growing popularity of his streams, but what he didn't see coming was the drastic shift his life would take over the next year. In 2021, Paul's fame drew hostility from within extremist circles, where some viewed him as an unworthy spokesman due to his Roma background. Among those targeting him were individuals linked to the neo-Nazi group Anton-Waffen Division. According to Paul, one member repeatedly showed up at his house in an effort to intimidate him. He also claims to have received multiple threats and been followed by members of the group, turning his online infamy into a real-world danger. However, the worst was yet to come for Paul. In March 2021, Paul was at home in Fort Lauderdale on a phone call at 5 in the morning when flashing lights outside his window caught his attention. Curious, he cracked open his door only to claim he saw the FBI outside, flanked by 2 armored vehicles and roughly 70 agents in full tactical gear. Panicked, he shut the door, but moments later, flashbang grenades were hurled toward the entrance. A voice over a loudspeaker ordered him to step outside with his hands raised. Paul complied and was arrested for 3 charges: possession of a firearm, possession of ammunition, and possession of an unregistered firearm.
Miller was arrested Tuesday when the FBI's terrorism task force raided the Fort Lauderdale home he rented a month ago. Witnesses say they removed weapons. He's been charged with possessing a firearm as a felon.
I went outside to look, and there was about 30 cars, people everywhere.
There were 70 agents there.
70 agents in full gear. All right, plate carriers and balaclaves and bulletproof helmets with night vision goggles and a battering ram on the goddamn tank that they were getting ready to drive through my house.
Miller had prior felony convictions in New Jersey in 2006 and 2007, which legally barred him from owning any firearms. Despite this, he was found in possession of an unregistered short-barreled rifle, a handgun, a combat knife, a tactical vest with plated body armor, and over 800 rounds of ammunition. His first hearing took place on March 3rd, where he apologized to the judge, stating, "I'm really sorry for all this, I really am." He also told the judge that he had enough money to hire his own attorney and had hired attorney Norman Kent. On March 10th, during his bond hearing, Paul was denied bail and ordered to remain in custody throughout the trial process. He then pleaded guilty to the charges on June 22nd. During a court hearing on Zoom, a troll streamer named Jdanks managed to infiltrate the call and spat out racist profanity before getting kicked off.
Mr. Bot, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's a person that I know who's online. His name is Jdanks, and I just seen him twice pop up on the screen, sir. And he's a streamer, so I assume that people are trying to make a spectacle of me.
Mr. Miller, your lawyer and I have discussed the publicity in this case, and I'm going to ask the judge to remind folks who are on this call that it's unlawful to stream this proceeding.
On September 28th, he was sentenced to 41 months in federal prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. While in prison, Paul described his experience as a living hell. He claimed to have spent an entire year in solitary confinement, confined to his cell for 23 hours a day with only a single hour to leave his cell. According to Paul, he claimed that black inmates were aware of who he was and frequently threatened him. He also accused black prison guards of mistreatment, including incidents where his meals were thrown on the ground. For Paul, prison wasn't just punishment, it was, in his words, relentless torment.
I went from the federal jail in Miami, then from there they took me to Tallahassee for a day, and then from Tallahassee I went to Atlanta, which if you've ever heard of Atlanta federal prison, oh my god, that place is like something out of your nightmares. Cockroaches and rats scurrying around everywhere, crawling on your food, crawling in your clothes, you're sleeping, you feel them crawling on your body. And then they took me from there to North Carolina, then Virginia, then Philadelphia, then I went to Fort Dix, which was my prison.
While serving time in prison, a video surfaced on Telegram showing Paul speaking to someone over the phone. During the call, he instructed the person to record him as he shared updates for his followers about prison life. He mentioned that with good behavior, his sentence could be reduced to 18 months and revealed that he had lost his fiancée.
The best thing you could do is, like I said, take a screenshot of me right now so people believe you. I'll put the phone down, ready? I believe that I'll probably, if everything goes well, I'll serve around 18 months, if everything goes okay. I don't have anybody, just my family. My fiancée left me, so I don't really, I don't have anyone to run the channel for me anymore, so it's just me. I know that some of my... Oh, man, we're on the phone! Jesus Christ, man, it's horrible. It's horrible in here, dude. It's really horrible.
On January 31st, 2023, Miller was released from prison on good behavior and with parole, overall serving only a year and 7 months. On the day he was released, Paul got his phone back and immediately launched a live stream addressing his followers. He spoke candidly about his time in prison, revealed that he had written a book detailing the experience, and shared his thoughts on various online influences.
But yeah, guys, it's me. I spent 2 years in prison. Right now, I am currently at a halfway house. This is like where I am. I'm wearing real clothes. I'm not in a prison uniform in the red that you guys seen me in. I've lost a significant amount of weight.
Well, I don't know. I don't like Andrew Tate. I don't like him. He's just a mulatto person, Muslim garbage. Him. He's not one of our people. He's not one of our guys. He doesn't care about white people. Yes, I did see that video from Sunny V2. It was pretty good. Is that video monetized? I mean, I feel like him and all the people who made videos about me owe me some money. So I wrote this book, all right, and I talked about everything that happened to me, everything leading up to going to prison. I wrote about the show, getting, fighting in New York with Antifa, what BLM did to my parents' house, all of that stuff. Everything that led me to the thing.
Some assume that nearly 2 years behind bars might have softened Paul or shifted his perspective. Instead, prison appeared to have only intensified his views. During his incarceration, his mother died of brain cancer, a loss he publicly attributed to Antifa and Black Lives Matter, claiming their actions had prevented him from being by her side in her final moments.
Has my experience made me worse as far as my beliefs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
you mean prison didn't make you less racist? What a
oh
shock.
yeah, I know. What a shock. I mean, I'm sure that the tiny hat people put me in thinking this'll teach him. He's gonna conform now.
Yeah,
That's
really.
what they thought. Yeah. But no, it made it a million times worse.
Paul returned to streaming after his release from prison on a new website called Goyim TV. Goyim TV is a video streaming platform created in 2020 by John Minadio II, also known by his alias Handsome Truth, who is a known neo-Nazi and leader of the Goyim Defense League, being a decentralized network of content creators who promote anti-Semitism, white supremacy, and Holocaust denial. On his new platform, Paul resumed his familiar routine, using chat sites like Omi TV, where he engaged in confrontational exchanges and directed racist slurs toward minority individuals. As Paul's online presence began to surge again, fueled by TikTok and Instagram Reels circulating his clips, he found himself involved in drama with several YouTubers. Among them was Hyphonix, a well-known YouTube and Twitch creator recognized for his comedic Omegle interactions and a subscriber base of over 1.5 million. Like Paul, Hyphonix had gained traction through short-form content on TikTok and Instagram. In some of his videos, strangers hurled racist slurs at him, and Paul took issue with Hyphonix's decision to leave those moments in his videos. He accused Hyphonix of ruining people's lives by showcasing their offensive behavior. Eventually, during a live stream, Paul encountered Hyphonix on a chat site, and the two clashed in a heated argument.
I've been putting a lot of time.
You again! Don't you move, you bald-headed son of a... I've got a bone to pick with you. I'm glad that I... You know something? Wait, shut up.
Wait, listen to me
I
carefully.
see a video of you, and some young lady said and then you took that video and you tried to ruin her life with that video of her saying...
So I've been on this website for 5 years, and I come across people all the time. And I think I get maybe like on average 5 to 6 people a day that just say the N-word towards me all the time, unironically.
Right. So what?
People usually, when they say it, they don't give me much of a reaction in overall. This girl in particular, though, it was funny, and I said, I'm going to post it. That girl that said the N-word is not just one case. I have done it multiple times, and I've done it
Do you think that helps your case? That proves my point. You're
Earlier this year, Paul alleged that Aiden Ross had reached out with an invitation to appear on one of his live streams. According to Paul, he declined the offer due to Aiden's Jewish background and demanded $15,000 to participate. Ultimately, the collaboration never occurred, and it's worth noting that this story remains unverified as Paul provided no receipts to support the claim.
He asked me, he's like, listen, I want to bring you on my show. He wants to interview me. So I said, now I know he's got money. So I said, listen, I'll do it for you. I'll come on, but I want $15,000 to come on because I have to justify this to the fans because you're a So we negotiated on the money. We ended up on $10,000. He gives me $2,500 in Bitcoin, pays me $2,500. I'm like, all right, well, where's the other 25? He's like, hold on, I'll get it for you, right? He hits me up. He's like, listen, my producer says I can't have you on. And I was just stunned. I'm like, what do you mean you can't have me on? I'm like, you've been moaning at me, talking about you want me to come on. You gave me $2,500 and now you don't want me to come on. So then I got pissed off. I'm like, you know what? You're a you are a piece of shit. But I kept his money. I kept the $2,500 because he asked me for it back. I said, no, I'm not giving it to you back. And then maybe 2-3 weeks later, he hits me up and he's like, he wants to kill himself. He's miserable and sad. And he's like, I can't take it anymore. And all of this shit. And I'm like, dude, why are you telling me this? I don't give a
As noted earlier, Paul's rise in popularity was fueled by viral clips of his streams circulating across multiple platforms. It wasn't long before his online notoriety spilled into real life. In June 2025, a video surfaced and quickly went viral after being posted on Twitter, showing a user who had recognized Gypsy Crusader at an airport. The individual confronted him over his racist views, sparking a heated exchange between the two.
Yeah, Yo, say it a little bit louder. A little bit louder, bro. A little bit louder.
Take a swing.
Yeah. Oh, take a swing, bro. I'm not gonna hit you, bro. You think I'm actually you're a idiot, bro.
Go ahead, take a swing.
Take a swing. Take a swing. I'm Gypsy Crusader. I got arrested, bro. Oh, look at me. I'm a 410. Post me for a little 410 voice the fuck over, man. Holy shit. You are a
Go ahead, take a swing.
biggest bro. Look at you. You
Go
are
ahead.
100%.
Go ahead, take a swing and see what happens.
Made.
Go ahead.
I'm not
do
doing
it.
shit to you, bro. You
Do
would
it.
love that. You would love
Yo,
that
I
to
would.
take a script to you. Yeah,
I would.
You would absolutely love that.
Yeah, I would.
Bro, get in your hands and knees first, and I'll do it.
Go ahead and try
Yeah,
it.
get in your hands and knees first.
Go ahead.
Get in your hands and knees first.
You gonna do it or what?
Do it. Get in your hands and knees first. See
You know
what
the
happens.
cops already know,
Yeah, the cops
and I
already
told
know.
them
They told him
that
what?
if
Told
you
him
try,
what?
I did tell them.
Yeah. Say
I
it
did.
again, bro. Say it again one more time.
You're a
Yeah, you see that? This guy's insane.
Reportedly, after the user posted the video, he was sent hate by fans of Paul, leading to him terminating his own Twitter account. So after everything Paul Miller has experienced in the last several years, what is he doing now? According to him, he's resumed coaching Muay Thai in New York City, suggesting he's once again permitted to train at a local gym. He's also returned to streaming, where he continues to make repulsive racist remarks towards people of color, as well as spread anti-Semitic and aligned ideologies to his audience. Notably, his live streams on Goyim TV have become a source of income, with sponsorships reportedly coming from the online casino CSGO Empire.
Alright, so I work for a casino. They're really good guys, man. They're all white, like they kind of like they built this thing to go against the casino that is controlled by like.
I saw you guys at the casino sponsor.
Yeah, they're really nice guys. They're called CSGO Empire. CSGO Empire, and they have a new platform called Duel. I gotta plug a little, but they
plug away, bro. You should.
But they really good guys.
It's surprising that Paul was able to secure any form of sponsorship, given how overtly offensive and inflammatory his content continues to be. It's unlikely that Paul will change course, especially given his own claims that the harassment he experienced from Antifa and Black Lives Matter drove him toward a more extreme worldview. But that raises a deeper question: how truly sincere is that explanation? Gypsy Crusader claims that his descent into extremism was triggered by harassment from Antifa and Black Lives Matter, but that explanation raises more questions than answers. Was this truly a reaction to external pressure, or simply a convenient excuse for beliefs he already held? It's hard to say. After all, he has previously stated to have once had friendships with Black and Jewish people, suggesting that his radicalization wasn't inevitable. Maybe it was gradual, maybe it was performative, or maybe it was always there, waiting for a justification. But what's clear is that the line between victimhood and accountability is one he's tried to blur. In the end, we're left wondering, is this who he became, or who he always was? Hey guys, it's Kluster. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please like and consider subscribing. Every week on my community posts, I post a hint to my next video. So shout out to Keep Calm and Play Nintendo for guessing that this video was going to be on Gypsy Crusader. So yeah, again, thank you very much for watching, and as always, join the Clown Empire.